The battlefield was silent, but it was not peaceful. It was the kind of silence that meant death was waiting. Dark clouds covered the sky. Smoke moved slowly over broken trees and ruined ground. The air smelled of dust, fire, and fear. Somewhere in the distance, a gunshot echoed, sharp and sudden. Then another. And another. Each shot meant one thing. A German sniper had found a target. The Allied soldiers were trapped in a shallow trench. They could not move forward. They could not go back. Every time someone lifted their head, a bullet came flying. Fast, clean, deadly. No one had seen the enemy, but everyone felt them. These German snipers are ghosts, one soldier whispered. His hands were shaking. They see everything, another said. We are blind out here. A young soldier tried to crawl forward. The moment his helmet showed, a shot rang out. He fell without a sound. The trench became quiet again. Too quiet. Fear spread like cold water through their bodies. They had lost 3 men in less than 10 minutes. And they had not fired a single useful shot back. Among them sat a man who did not panic. His name was Elias Carter. He was not big. He was not loud. His uniform was dusty, his face calm. His eyes moved slowly, studying the land ahead like a hunter watching tall grass. He did not waste energy. He did not rush. While others pressed their backs to the trench wall, Elias slowly opened his small kit. Inside there was ammo, a cloth, and a small cracked mirror. The mirror was no bigger than his hand. It looked old and broken at the edges. It was not military gear. It looked useless. One soldier noticed it and frowned. Why do you carry that? He asked. Elias did not look at him. Because it shows what eyes cannot. The soldier laughed nervously. We need guns, not beauty tools. Another man leaned closer. You planning to shave out here? A few quiet laughs followed. They were not mocking him with joy. They were mocking him with fear. Elias stayed calm. German bullets hit the dirt in front of them again. The sound was sharp. Close. Those snipers are playing with us, someone said. They know we can't see them, another whispered. Elias slowly lifted the mirror, keeping it low. He angled it just above the trench edge. Only a tiny part of it showed. Are you crazy? One soldier hissed. They will shoot it. Let them, Elias replied. A second later, a shot rang out. The mirror cracked further. A piece flew off. But Elias smiled slightly. He had seen something. There, he said softly. Where? A soldier asked. Elias pointed without lifting his head. 200 meters. Broken tree. Shadow on the left. No one believed him. That's nothing, someone said. You can't see a sniper with a broken mirror, another laughed. They called it stupid, but he smiled. Because Elias knew something they did not. A sniper must look to kill. And where there is a look, there is a reflection. He adjusted the mirror again, slowly. Another shot hit it. Another tiny crack formed. But now he saw more. A flash. A movement. A small shine that did not belong to nature. A German scope. They are watching us, Elias whispered. But now I am watching them. The soldiers stared at him. You're guessing, one said. Maybe, Elias replied. But I am rarely wrong. He lifted his rifle slightly. Very slowly. No sudden movement. No panic. The battlefield was still. The German snipers were waiting. They believed they were unseen. Untouchable. Elias breathed in. Then out. Do not move, he told the others. Do not speak. He raised the mirror once more, just a little. A bullet struck near it but missed. That was enough. The flash was clear this time. There. He aimed. The rifle was steady. His finger was calm. His heart was quiet. One shot. In the distance, a body fell from behind the broken tree. Silence. The soldiers did not speak. They could not believe it. Then a whisper moved through the trench. He hit him. He actually hit him. Elias lowered his rifle. One down, he said simply. Fear turned into shock. Shock turned into hope. But Elias knew this was only the beginning. Because now, the German snipers would realize something dangerous. They were no longer the only hunters on the field. The mirror was not stupid. It was a weapon. The German snipers did not answer right away. After Elias took the shot, the battlefield became quiet. Too quiet. The kind of silence that meant danger was thinking. The Allied soldiers stayed frozen in the trench. Their eyes were wide. Their breathing was slow and careful. They could not believe what they had just seen. He really got one, a soldier whispered. With a mirror, another said. With a broken mirror. Elias did not celebrate. He did not smile big. He only watched. They will move now, he said calmly. They know they are not safe. A few seconds later, bullets hit the dirt around the trench again. Not wild shots. Controlled shots. Smart shots. The Germans were searching. They're angry, one soldier said. No, Elias replied. They're alert. He took out his cloth and wiped the mirror gently. The cracks made strange lines, but they also broke light in useful ways. The mirror was imperfect. That made it harder for the enemy to understand what he was doing. Elias lifted the mirror slowly, just enough. A bullet hit near it again. They're trying to destroy your toy, a soldier muttered. It's not a toy, Elias said. It's a door. A door to what? The soldier asked. To their mistakes. He watched carefully. When the Germans shot at the mirror, they gave him something. A direction. A reaction. A position. He adjusted the angle. There are two now, Elias whispered. One to the left. One higher ground. How can you be sure? A soldier asked. Because fear makes men rush, Elias answered. And rushed men make noise. He waited. The mirror caught a small flash. A tiny sparkle. Like a star for 1 second. There, Elias said again. The soldiers leaned closer, but Elias raised his hand. Do not move, he warned. He aimed at the second position. Another slow breath. Another calm shot. A distant body slid down from behind rocks. 2 down. Now the Germans responded faster. Bullets hit closer. Dirt flew into the trench. One soldier cried out as a stone cut his cheek. They know where we are, someone shouted. They always did, Elias said. Now they know who I am. The enemy fire became heavier. Not wild but wide. They were trying to force movement. Panic. But Elias used that. When bullets came, they showed angles. When shots came, they showed lines. And when the mirror reflected light, it showed truth. Elias lifted it again. Another flash. They're trying to change positions, he said. They're nervous. A German sniper tried to crawl to a better spot. He was careful. Slow. But not slow enough. Elias fired. 3 down. The trench exploded with quiet excitement. Not loud. Not cheering. Just strong, hopeful breaths. He's stopping them? He's hunting them? Elias did not answer. He was already watching again. But now something changed. A bullet hit very close to his head. Too close. They see you, a soldier warned. They are trying, Elias replied. The Germans had understood something. This was not luck. This was skill. Someone was reading them. Someone was learning their movements. They stopped shooting for a moment. That was worse. When a sniper is silent, it means he is planning. Elias lowered the mirror. They are switching tactics, he said. What does that mean? A soldier asked. It means they will try to trap me. The air felt heavier. Even the wind seemed to stop. Elias moved slightly to the right. Just a little. Enough to change angles. He lifted the mirror again, but this time not high. Only sideways. Nothing. No shots. No flashes. They are waiting for me to show myself, he said. A soldier swallowed. So what do we do? Elias looked at the trench wall, then at the broken ground, then at the sky. We make them think I am stupid, he said. The soldiers looked confused. They already think that, one muttered. That is good, Elias replied. Then they will make a mistake. He raised the mirror higher than before. Too high. On purpose. A shot cracked through the air. The mirror shattered in his hand. The soldiers gasped. Are you hit? Someone shouted. Elias looked at his hand. A small cut. Blood. But his eyes were focused forward. Found you, he whispered. He had seen the flash. Bright. Clear. Close. He rolled slightly, aimed fast, and fired. The body fell almost immediately. 4 down. The trench was silent again. Elias dropped the broken mirror pieces into his pocket. Even broken, they had done their job. One soldier stared at him. You risked your life, just to make them shoot. Elias nodded. Fear makes men react. Reaction gives position. The soldiers now looked at him differently. Not as a strange man with a mirror, but as a hunter. But Elias knew something else. The Germans were not finished. This was not a small sniper group. It was a trained unit. And units do not lose quietly. In the distance he heard new movement. Boots. Orders. Fast, low voices. They're bringing more, Elias said. How many? A soldier asked. Elias listened. Enough to be dangerous, he replied. Enough to be careless. He took out another small mirror piece from his kit. Smaller. Sharper. The soldiers watched him. They laughed at your trick before, one said softly. They won't laugh again. Elias placed the mirror carefully. Neither will the enemy, he replied. The battle was changing. The hunted had become the hunters. And the mirror was now their fear. The wind changed. Elias felt it before he heard anything. The air became heavy, slow, and tense. That was always a sign. Something was moving. Something was planning. The Allied soldiers stayed low in the trench. Their eyes followed Elias now. They trusted him. Not because he was loud. Not because he was brave in words. But because death listened when he acted. They are coming closer, Elias whispered. One soldier swallowed. How do you know? Because silence like this only comes before a storm, Elias said. Far ahead, German snipers were not just hiding anymore. They were moving. They were spreading. They were hunting the hunter. The hunted had become dangerous. They want to trap me, Elias said calmly. They will try to come from the sides. A soldier asked, Can we fall back? Elias shook his head slowly. If we run, they will follow. If we stay, they must show themselves. Fear touched their faces. But they stayed. Elias took out another mirror piece. Smaller than before. Sharp edges. The glass caught light even in darkness. He placed it on a broken helmet, slowly pushing it forward with a stick. A shot rang out. The helmet flew back. Elias smiled slightly. They are impatient. What now? Someone whispered. Now they think they found me, Elias replied. He moved 2 meters to the right without sound. Slow. Careful. Like a shadow. The Germans fired again at the old spot. They are shooting ghosts, a soldier said. And I am becoming one, Elias replied. He raised the mirror at a new angle. Nothing. No shot. No flash. That means they are watching carefully, Elias said. They learned. Suddenly, dirt exploded behind them. A bullet hit the trench wall. They're flanking us, a soldier shouted. Elias looked left. They are trying to close the distance, he said. Snipers become killers when they get close. The fear returned, heavy and cold. Elias breathed slowly. Do not panic, he told them. Panic feeds death. He placed the mirror flat on the ground, angled toward a broken stone wall ahead. A faint light flickered. There. 2 of them, Elias whispered. Side by side. How can you see that? A soldier asked. Because their fear makes them look, Elias said. Elias aimed. 1 shot. 1 body dropped. Another German fired instantly. The bullet hit inches from Elias. They are close, a soldier cried. Yes, Elias said. Too close for comfort. Too close for safety. Elias rolled into a new position. The Germans began shooting in patterns. They were not wild. They were trying to limit his movement. They are boxing me in, Elias said. What do we do? A soldier asked. We let them think they are winning, Elias answered. He took a deep breath and lifted the mirror high again. A risky move. 3 shots rang out. The glass shattered completely. Elias saw 3 flashes. 3 positions. He dropped and rolled, aiming quickly. First shot. A scream in the distance. Second shot. A body fell forward. Third shot. Silence. The soldiers stared at him. Did you get all 3? One asked. Elias nodded slowly. Yes. Sweat ran down his face. This was no longer a game. This was war within war. But then something new happened. Smoke. Thick gray smoke spread across the battlefield. They are using smoke, Elias said. They are hiding their eyes. The mirror trick needed sight. Smoke killed reflection. They are adapting, a soldier said. So must we, Elias replied. He closed his eyes. He listened. Boots on dirt. Cloth rubbing stone. Breathing. They are moving forward, Elias whispered. Slow and wide. The Germans were no longer afraid of distance. They wanted to see him. They wanted his blood. They want me alive, Elias said. Or dead. Either way, they want the mirror gone. The smoke thickened. Visibility dropped. The mirror became useless. The soldiers looked at Elias in fear. Your trick won't work now, one said. Elias nodded. No. But their confidence will. A German soldier slipped on loose rock. A small sound. But Elias heard it. He aimed without sight. He fired. A body hit the ground. The smoke froze. The Germans stopped moving. They realized something. The mirror was not the real weapon. Elias was. He doesn't need sight, one soldier whispered. He uses the battlefield, another replied. The Germans waited again. Then they changed tactics. A loud whistle. 3 soldiers rushed forward. Close-range attack. They're charging, someone shouted. Elias stood. Now, he said, they are scared. Aimed fast. One fell. Then another. The third turned and ran. Bullets followed him from Allied rifles. The battlefield changed. Hope replaced fear. But Elias stayed focused. This is not over, he said. He looked at the broken mirror pieces in his pocket. They were gone. The mirror trick was finished. Now only instinct remained. And the Germans had just learned something terrifying. The man with the mirror was more dangerous without it. Fear had changed sides. The German snipers were no longer calm. They were no longer patient. They had lost too many men too fast, and to one silent soldier they could not understand. The battlefield that once felt safe to them now felt cursed. Elias stayed low in the trench. Smoke still floated in the air, but it was thinner now. The wind slowly pushed it away, like the land itself was revealing the truth again. The Allied soldiers looked at him with new eyes. Not as a quiet man. Not as a strange sniper with a mirror. But as something more. He's not normal, one whispered. He's a shadow, another said. He's death walking, a third murmured. Elias heard none of it. His focus was forward. They will not attack fast now, he said. They will think first. Fear makes people slow. The Germans had pulled back. They were hiding again, but not with confidence. With caution. With doubt. A German commander watched through his binoculars from far behind. His jaw was tight. His voice low. This is not a group, he said. This is one man. His soldiers shifted uncomfortably. One man does not stop a unit, a sniper replied. The commander looked at him. Unless that man is changing how we think. Back in the trench, Elias adjusted his rifle. The mirror was gone, but the lesson remained. You taught them fear, a soldier told him. No, Elias replied. They already had fear. I only showed them where it lived. The wind carried a sharp crack. A German shot. But it missed. It was rushed. They are testing, Elias said. Another shot. Too high. They are nervous, he continued. Elias lifted his rifle and fired once. A body fell. The Germans panicked. Shots came quickly. Not aimed. Not careful. They are breaking, one Allied soldier said. Not yet, Elias replied. But they are close. The battlefield was no longer controlled by the Germans. It was shaped by Elias' patience. The German commander slammed his hand on the dirt. He is hunting us, he said. And we are letting him. What are your orders? A soldier asked. The commander paused. We surround him. We close the space. We remove his distance. They began to move in a wide circle. Quiet. Slow. Like wolves around a fire. Elias felt it. They are spreading out, he said. They want me in the center. Isn't that dangerous? A soldier asked. Yes, Elias answered. For them. He climbed out of the trench, low and slow, moving to a ruined wall. The soldiers followed. You don't have the mirror, one said. Elias nodded. I don't need it now. He placed his ear close to the ground. Movement. Breathing. Metal. They think I am blind, Elias whispered. That is their mistake. A German sniper peeked from behind a rock. Elias fired instantly. Another fell. The Germans stopped moving. Fear spread among them like fire in dry grass. He knows where we are, one whispered. He is not human, another said. The commander's voice was cold. He is human. That is why he is dangerous. The Germans began firing from many directions. They wanted to confuse him. Elias smiled faintly. Too loud, he said. Too many voices. He turned slightly and fired. Another body dropped. The Allied soldiers watched in disbelief. How can you see them? One asked. I don't see, Elias replied. I listen. I feel. I predict. Fear had become his weapon. The Germans were reacting. And reaction meant weakness. Then something unexpected happened. A German sniper fired and hit one of Elias' soldiers in the arm. The man screamed and fell. Elias turned fast. That was a warning, he said. They want me to rush. He did not. Instead he waited. The Germans thought he would panic. Thought he would expose himself. He stayed still. A second German moved to get a better angle. Elias fired. The body dropped. They are making mistakes, Elias said quietly. The German commander clenched his fists. This is no sniper, he said. This is a mind that kills. He raised his voice. Fall back to defensive positions. Do not chase him. But fear had already infected his men. They did not trust the ground anymore. They did not trust their shadows. Back on the battlefield, Elias moved like water. Slow, calm, certain. Each step was measured. Each breath was controlled. The soldiers followed him, silent and steady. They used to own this land, one whispered. Not anymore, another replied. The Germans fired again. Elias fired back. One more fell. Now the name began to form. Not spoken yet. Not written yet. But born in fear. The silent hunter. The man without the mirror. Elias looked across the battlefield. They laughed at the mirror, he said softly. They will never laugh again. The German snipers were no longer hunters. They were prey. The Germans did not retreat far. They only pulled back enough to think. That was the most dangerous kind of enemy. One that was afraid but still intelligent. The battlefield was quiet again. Too quiet. Even the birds were gone. The air felt heavy like the land was holding its breath. Elias crouched behind a broken wall. The Allied soldiers stayed close. No one joked now. No one doubted. They are planning something big, one soldier whispered. Yes, Elias replied. Fear makes men desperate. Desperate men use traps. Far away, the German commander spoke in a low voice. He cannot be beaten from distance, he said. So we will beat him with closeness. His men listened carefully. We will push him into a narrow space. We will limit his movement. We will take his advantage away. The trap was simple. And that made it dangerous. The Germans started firing from one direction only. Slow. Careful. Like a guiding hand. They are trying to push us, Elias said. Push us where? A soldier asked. Elias looked behind them. A ruined bunker. Stone walls. Only one exit. There, he said. Into a cage. The soldiers felt fear again. If we go there, we're trapped, one said. Yes, Elias replied. And so are they. Elias stood and moved backward slowly, letting the Germans believe they were winning. Letting their confidence grow. Shots followed them, not fast, not close. Controlled. Guiding. They think I am running, Elias said. That is good. They reached the bunker. The walls were thick. The space was tight. Light barely entered. This is death, a soldier whispered. No, Elias said. This is clarity. He placed his hand on the cold stone. Sound travels differently here, he said. They will give themselves away. The Germans began to surround the bunker. Boots. Whispers. Metal touching stone. Elias closed his eyes. They are close. Too close to hide their fear. A German voice trembled slightly. He is inside. Another replied, good. Then he cannot escape. Elias smiled faintly. They think I am the one trapped, he whispered. The first German soldier rushed in. Elias fired. The man fell before he understood what happened. The second rushed in. Another shot. Another fall. The entrance became a doorway of death. The Germans stopped. They did not rush anymore. They waited. They thought. The commander raised his hand. Smoke, he ordered. Thick smoke poured into the bunker. The soldiers coughed. Now they blind you, one whispered. Elias stayed calm. They blind themselves too, he said. He listened. Footsteps entered slowly. Breathing heavy. Fear thick. Elias fired. A body fell. The Germans fired blindly. Bullets hit the walls. Stone broke. Dust filled the air. One bullet grazed Elias' shoulder. Pain flashed. But he did not cry out. Pain was noise. Silence was power. He shifted position. Another German stepped forward. Elias fired. Another fell. The Germans were losing their courage. This is madness, one whispered outside. He is killing us in darkness, another said. The commander clenched his jaw. He is not killing, he said. We are giving him our lives. Elias heard that voice. The leader. The mind behind the trap. That man is dangerous, Elias whispered. Not with a gun. With thought. He waited. Then he made a move they did not expect. He threw a rock. The Germans fired at the sound. Elias moved in the opposite direction and fired. The commander fell. Silence spread. Fear collapsed into chaos. The Germans pulled back. They had lost their leader. They had lost their plan. The bunker became a grave. One soldier looked at Elias with wide eyes. They tried to trap you, he said. They trapped themselves, Elias replied. But Elias was wounded. Blood ran from his shoulder. You're hurt, a soldier said. It is small, Elias answered. Fear is larger. The Germans had learned something terrifying. They could not corner him. They could not scare him. They could not outthink him. The trap had failed. The hunter had walked into the cage and turned it into a tomb. The news spread quietly through the Allied lines. Not with loud voices, not with celebration, but with respect. "There is a man who stopped an entire sniper unit," they whispered. "He fights like the land itself," another said. "He cannot be trapped." Elias did not hear the rumors. He was resting behind a broken truck, his shoulder wrapped in cloth. Blood had stopped, but pain remained. Still his eyes were sharp. His mind was awake. Pain was temporary. The war was not. A medic looked at him. "You should leave the front line." Elias shook his head slowly. "Not yet." "Why?" the medic asked. "Because they will come again," Elias replied. "And they will come smarter." The German camp was silent. Too silent. They were no longer angry. They were thinking. A new commander took charge. Younger, colder, less emotional. "This man is not a sniper," he said. "He is a system. And systems can be broken." His soldiers listened carefully. "He uses patience. He uses silence. He uses fear," the commander continued. "So we will use order. Numbers. Control." They changed their positions. They changed their patterns. They moved in teams, not alone. Back on the field, Elias felt the shift. "They are not panicking anymore," he said. "That is dangerous." The Allied soldiers gathered close. "Does that mean we're losing?" one asked. "No," Elias said. "It means the real battle is starting." He stood slowly despite the pain. The wound pulled at his muscles, but his posture remained calm. "They will try to overwhelm," he continued. "They will push hard from many sides." "How do we stop that?" a soldier asked. Elias looked at the land. "We become many minds," he said. "Not just one." He taught them. Not with long speeches. Not with pride. But with small lessons. How to listen. How to wait. How to move without sound. How to breathe without panic. The mirror had started it. But now the mirror was gone. The trick had become a method. Soon the Allied soldiers were no longer afraid of silence. They used it. German patrols moved forward. One team disappeared. Then another. No gunfire. No chaos. Just absence. The Germans felt it. "He is multiplying," one soldier whispered. "He taught them," another said. The new commander narrowed his eyes. "Then we removed the teacher." They sent a full strike team. 10 men. Heavy weapons. Close range. "They want your head," a soldier warned Elias. "They want control," Elias replied. "They think killing me ends the fear." The team moved in fast. Elias saw their formation. "They are trained," he said. "But training breaks under uncertainty." He moved with his men. Not in front. Among them. A German soldier slipped. A sound. One shot. He fell. Then silence again. Another German panicked and fired. That was his mistake. 2 Allied rifles answered. He fell. The Germans froze. "They are waiting for orders," Elias whispered. "That is their weakness." He shifted position. Another shot. Another fall. The German team broke. Not in screams. In doubt. They pulled back. The commander watched from distance. "This is not a man," he said. "This is a movement." The battlefield changed. Allied soldiers now hunted in pairs. In threes. In quiet unity. The Germans no longer owned the night. They avoided open ground. They avoided shadows. They avoided silence. The mirror trick had become legend. But Elias knew the truth. It was never about glass, he told a soldier. It was about patience. The Allied commander approached him. "You changed the field," he said. Elias shook his head. "The field was always here. I just listened to it." The final mission came. A deep German sniper base. The source of their control. Their eye. "If we break that," the Allied commander said, "we blind them." Elias closed his eyes for a moment. "This is the end," he said. "One way or another." The soldiers prepared. Not afraid. Not proud. Just ready. The Germans did not know it yet. But their fear was no longer focused on one man. It was focused on an idea. And ideas do not bleed. Night covered the land like a dark blanket. The German sniper base stood on a small hill, hidden by broken walls and thick trees. It was quiet. Too quiet. Inside, the best German snipers waited, believing they still controlled the battlefield. They did not know they were already blind. Elias and the Allied soldiers moved slowly through the shadows. No one spoke. No one rushed. Every step was careful. Every breath was controlled. "This is their heart," Elias whispered. "If it stops, the body will fall." The men nodded. They were no longer afraid. They were ready. The first guard stood near a damaged fence. He held his rifle loosely, tired and tense. Elias raised his hand. One soldier moved behind the guard like a ghost. A short struggle. No sound. The guard fell. They moved forward. Inside the base, lamps gave weak yellow light. Shadows danced on the walls. German voices were low and nervous. "They feel it," one Allied soldier whispered. "They know something is coming," another said. Elias raised his hand again. "Wait." A German sniper leaned out from a window to scan the dark. Elias aimed. One shot. The man dropped inside the building. Chaos almost started, but Elias moved fast. "Now," he said. The Allied soldiers spread out just as Elias had taught them. Not rushing. Not shouting. Just moving. Another German tried to fire. 2 Allied bullets answered. He fell. The base began to break apart from inside. German soldiers ran between rooms, confused and scared. They did not know where to aim. They did not know where the danger was coming from. "This is not possible," one shouted. "They are everywhere." Elias entered the main hall. His shoulder burned with pain, but his eyes were steady. The German commander stood there, shocked. "It was a mirror," he said slowly. "Just a mirror." Elias looked at him. "No," he replied. "It was never the mirror." He raised his rifle. "It was the mind behind it." The commander dropped his weapon. The battle was over. Outside, German snipers fled into the night. Some surrendered. Others disappeared into the forest, broken and afraid. The hill was silent. For the first time in days it was peaceful. The Allied soldiers stood together, breathing deeply. One man looked at Elias and said softly, "They laughed at you." Another added, "They called you stupid." Elias looked at the dark sky. "Yes," he said. "And that saved us." The news spread quickly after that. German sniper activity stopped. Their control collapsed. Their confidence shattered. The battlefield changed. Allied forces moved forward with strength and hope. The enemy no longer felt untouchable. Elias became a story. Not a loud one. Not a proud one. But a quiet legend. The man who used a broken mirror. The man who taught fear to fear. The man who turned silence into a weapon. But Elias himself never spoke of it. Weeks later he sat alone, cleaning his rifle. The war was still on, but this part of it was finished. A young soldier approached him. "Was the mirror really stupid?" he asked. Elias looked at him and smiled gently. "No," he said. "People fear what they do not understand. And they laugh at what they fear." The young soldier nodded slowly. Elias stood and walked toward the sunrise. Behind him was a battlefield that had changed forever. Not because of power. Not because of numbers. But because one calm man had looked at fear. And smiled.